and today we'll be looking at SLAT 2024 100 most expected SLAT questions. And this is going to be part 4 of the series where we'll be looking at analytical reasoning. Okay, so without further ado, let's start. So the first question is, the rate of interest for the first 4 years is 8% per annum. For the next 5 years is 6.5%, and for the period beyond 9 years is 4.2% per annum. If a woman lent out rupees 2200 for 14 years under simple interest, find the total interest earned by her. So there are going to be two ways to solve this. Okay, when we talk about 14 years, then we have got the first 4 years at 8% per annum, and then we have got the next 5 years at 6.5% per annum, and this is a total of 9 years. Beyond 9 years, that would mean the remaining 5 years, this is going to be 4.2% per annum. So what we can do is we can multiply the tenure, that is number of years, and this rate of interest. Okay, so this is going to be 32%. This is going to be 6.5 plus 4.2, which is going to be 10.7 into 5 years, which will together become 7 into 5, 35, so 53.5%. Then add them. This will result in 85.5%. So we have to calculate 85.5% of 2200. Now 85.5% of 2200 is going to be as 85.5 into 22. Now 85.5 into 2 is 171. So 1710 and 171 will result in 1881, which will give us D as the answer. Another way to look at this is, since the principal is 2200 and 2200 is in the table of 11, so the interest or the amount, they will also be in the table of 11. The only option which is in the table of 11 is 1881. None of the three options A, B and C, they are in the table of 11. Okay, so if you pay attention to the type of numbers we are dealing with in a question, sometimes the questions are much easier than they look. Okay, next, the price of a commodity has increased successively means one after another, by 12.5%. So 12.5% ka increase is like saying increase by 1 by 8. 12.5% is written as 1 by 8. An increase of 1 by 8 means 1 plus 1 by 8, that becomes 9 by 8. Similarly, increase of 27.27% is same as saying increase of 27.27% is actually 3 upon 11. So this becomes 1 plus 3 upon 11, which becomes 14 upon 11. And then we have got increase of 42.68%. Now 42.68% is same as increase of 0.14285. So this is not divisible by 7. This is not divisible by 14. 1 by 13 is 7.69%, right? So this is not even in the table of 7.69%. If you look at the options, we have got, it's not even 41.66 or 41.33. 42.68%. What can we write that as in fraction? This is a difficult one. If we already know the values, it would have been much easier. $82, 41? No, it's not divisible by 41. अब ये difficult हो गया. 1 by 15, 1 by 16 तक we do not have 42.68%. Did it mean 42.67? नहीं. So we can write this as 42.68 upon 100, which is 0.4268, which can be written as, should we simplify it? थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो गया ये. Followed by 4 zeros. So we can get rid of 4, right? If we get rid of 4, so this we will have 2500 here. If we get rid of 4 from there, we will have 1317. 1317 by 2500 will become 38. $39 by 26. How much is 1 by 26, by the way? $3.84. और अगर 42 तक जाना है तो 13 times 12, 11. It's not 1 by 13. Okay. Not straightforward, I would say. Option से चल ले, because this is not an easy percentage. Option से चले 4455. So we have some initial value. If we multiply it by 9 by 8, and then if we multiply it by 14 by 11, and then if we multiply it with, suppose this is going to give us some fraction eventually, multiplying factor, this results in 11340. So the things that we can cancel out is 9. If we cancel out 9, this is going to be 11. 9, 12, 1260. Then if we get rid of 14, this is going to be 140 होता है, तो this is 90. 14 into 9 is 126. So this is 90. So we can say that the initial value is going to be in the table of 8 and 11 and then furthermore. So 8 के टेबल में होना वैसे ज़रूरी है क्या? नहीं, 42.68% may give us something which will take care of 8. It definitely will not cancel out 11. So if I look at 4455 and 5544, in the first one I can write this as 4400 plus 55, which is 4 into 11 into 100, right? 1100 into 4 plus 5 into 11. As in, we can actually take out 55 outside, right? And 5 into 11, so either B, so this will be 81. Okay, if we take out 50, 55, 44, this is going to be 5500 plus 44. 5500 is 5 into 11 into 100, and then we will have 4 into 11. So if we take out 44 outside, so we will have 125, right? 25 or 5 bachega, 125 plus 1, which is 126. 126 is 14 into 9. So we do have 44. We will have a 9, but we are supposed to have 14 also. 14 होने का मतलब है कि ये जो है 14 से डिविजिबल होगा 42.68. थोड़ा सा मैं बोला ना इसमें गड़बड़ है. There is mistake in this value. It's not 42.68. It has to be 42.85 at the very beginning. So 42.85. So 42.85 would mean this is going to be 1 by 7 is 14.28. So this is 3 by 7. So increase of 3 by 7 will make this as 1 plus 3 by 7, and this becomes 10 by 7. So f की जगह पे हम 10 by 7 लिख लेते हैं. So this 0 will also cancel out, and we'll be left with 8 into 11 into 7 into 9. Which is going to give us a number that ends in 4, and which should be the table of 11. D is the only option which is in the table of 4, right? And also in the table of 11. It's also in the table of 9. It's also in the table of 7. ये सबके साथ है. So this is what the initial value is. So it's not 42.68, it is 42.85%. ठीक है, चलो D is the answer. Question error, पूरा answer ही नहीं. 42.68 cannot be written as a fraction, as in simple fraction. That's why it was mind-boggling. Okay, third question. Rohan travels for 4 stretches of time in the ratio of 2469 at speeds this. If he covers a total distance of 7068 kilometers, then find the total time for which he is traveling. So the distance he's going to cover initially is 8 into 2t. Okay, we are saying that the times are 2t, 40, 60 and 90. The next one is 22 into 40. The next one is 28 into 60. And the next distance covered is 33 into 90. And this entire distance is given as 7068. We need to find out the value of t, right? This is one approach. Second approach is going to be, if we add all the t's, this is going to be a total of 21t. 21t should be a number which should be in the table of 21. So A is not in the table of 21, B is in the table of 21, C is not in the table of 21, and 76 is not. So 252 is the only number which is in the table of 21. Right? Smart. Find a single discount equivalent to the discount series of 25%, 20% and 10%. There are 3 ways to solve this. The first is, if you start with 100, if you decrease it by 25%, 25% of 100 is nothing but 25. A decrease of 25 will bring it down to 75. Now, 20% of 75, 10% is 7.5, so 20% will be 15. So if a decrease of 15 will make this a 60. Then 10% of 60 decrease should happen, which is going to be a decrease of 6, which will result in 54. So if we start with 100 and if we end up at 54, that's like saying it's a 46%. 46 ka decrease hai over 100, which is 46%. Second approach is going to be 25% decrease will become 0.75, 20% decrease becomes 0.8 and 10% decrease becomes 0.9. 75 into 8, that is 1.536. So this is going to be 0.6 into 0.9, and 0.6 into 0.9 is 0.54. And 0.54 is nothing but 44% decrease. ये आपका second approach. Either of this will work. Always start with 100 or 1000 so that the calculation is easier. Okay, next. Suresh can do as much work in 3 days as Ramesh can do in 4 days. Ramesh can do as much work in 5 days as Kamlesh can do it in 6 days. Right? So 3, 4, 5 and 6 in सबका LCM or a number in the table of all of this. So let's take that as 60. So we are saying 60 units of work is the total work. Okay. Suresh takes 3 days to finish it. That means Suresh is doing नहीं, पहले रमेश का सेम करना पड़ेगा ना, right? Otherwise, we will get different units or different efficiencies of Ramesh. We need the same efficiency of Ramesh. Here we are talking about 2 different units. So 2 different jobs. So from here we can say that Suresh's efficiency is 4 and Ramesh's efficiency is 3. And from here we can say Ramesh's efficiency is 6 and Kamesh's efficiency is 5. So Ramesh efficiencies are different. So let's double this and let's double this. So that Suresh's efficiency is 8, that of Ramesh is 6 and that of Kamesh is 5. Now we can take the total work to be the LCM of 8, 6 and 5, which will result in 240 units. 120 would also do, क्योंकि 6 में तो था ही, so 120 ले लेते हैं. नहीं, अब LCM की जरूरत नहीं है ना. Efficiency we have already calculated. These all are efficiency. So we can say that Suresh 8 units 3 days में करता है, Ramesh 6 units 4 days में, right? Kamesh Ramesh 6 units and Kamesh 5 units, right? So the total work we can say is 120. अब करते हैं. If they all worked, acha nahi, work again, we can't take the efficiency because in the very next step they have mentioned that how many days they will take together. So if they work together, Suresh is going to complete his 8 units, Ramesh his 6 units and Kamesh his 5 units and they can finish it in 18 days, which is going to give us 19 into 18 as the total work. So how long would Ramesh take to complete the work if he works alone? So Ramesh works at the rate of 6 units per day. For a certain number of days he has to work so that he finishes 19 into 18. This is the total work. So 6 and 18, this is going to be 3 times. So days is going to be 19 into 3, which is 57 days. Right? So a little confusing because initially the numbers given are days, then we had to figure out their relative efficiencies. Once we figure out the relative efficiencies, in the question, it was given how much of work it is. So that's why 2 times I thought we should be taking LCM. Every time it was like not required. Question mein it is mentioned. Okay. Well, that's all for today. Make sure that you like and subscribe if you haven't. And while solving any of the questions, every time I show you a question, you need to pause the video. Okay. Try to solve it yourself. See how much time you take. Then you look at the solutions, as in play the video again. So Miss Alpa Sharma is going to talk about SLAT 2025, what, how and why. It's going to happen on 27th of March at 6 p.m. So make sure that you register for this. And you can get up to 90% scholarship on our preparation programs. The scholarship test date is 31st of March and the time scheduled is 11 a.m. So make sure that you register for this and write the scholarship test. You can kickstart your OLET preparation. You can download our app from Google Play. The link is given in the description. And once you download it, you can talk to our counselor by clicking on that button on the dashboard. Also, you can kickstart your preparation for CLAT 2025 UG with us, which is recommended by NLU and CLAT toppers. What you will get is more than 380 hours of live classroom, more than 300 recorded videos, 55 mock tests, which is among the largest or highest number in the market, more than 10,000 topic-wise practice questions, more than 10,000 sectional practice tests, study material. Doubt resolution happens within 24 hours and CLAT Ignite monthly magazine for current affairs. In case of any queries, make sure that you get in touch with us through that contact number. You can also buy our Law 2024 UG test series. It includes 25 CLAT mocks, 15 IELTS and 15 OLET mocks. Okay, this is also recommended by CLAT toppers. So in case of any queries, make sure that you get in touch with us through that contact number. Do check out our social media handles and pages. Thank you everyone. Thank you for joining.